All right, let's move on to 1A, where Pioneer travels to face Adams Central this week. Adams Central, man, it hasn't been an easy road, but they have answered the challenge every single Friday since the playoffs began. This will be their toughest one.
Yeah.
As they take on a Pioneer team that beat a really, really good top-ranked LCC team last week by 1. How do you see this one playing out in Monroe on Friday?
It begins and ends with Jack Kaiser, the quarterback for Pioneer. He scored 54 total touchdowns this year between passing and rushing. So there's your ball game, folks. If you limit Jack Kaiser, you have a shot to beat Pioneer. LCC wasn't able to do it, so a tremendous, tremendous challenge for Adams Central coming up on Friday.
Yeah, I had that written down right here. Jack Kaiser, 25 carries, 156 yards.
It is right here.
4 touchdowns last week. The difference really against LCC, including a touchdown in the last 40 seconds that won it for them. But Pioneer comes in with another stingy defense. 7.7 points allowed is all Pioneer is allowing. We've seen Adams Central with Monroe Central, 4 points allowed on the season before they faced Adams Central. They've played really good defenses and answered the call. Is that because they're so dominant in the run game and up front, and can they continue that again this Friday against a good Pioneer team?
We'll see. I think that's the big challenge for the Flying Jets coming in on Friday. They were able to play keep away against a Woodland team that had a dynamic offense. They were able to really challenge and beat up Monroe Central up front, a team that was very good on defense. They've answered those 2 challenges. Now here's the biggest one of the year thus far, I think, in Pioneer. I think we all expected LCC to be here. But you really open some eyes when you knock off Lafayette Central Catholic. So here we are, Pioneer. I think once again it's Adams Central having to play keep away. Drew Schultz has to carry the ball another 30, 35 times, I think, on Friday for them to have a shot. And they need to score. And again, it comes down to turnovers, short field. If they can turn over the ball a couple times, challenge Jack Kaiser a little bit in a way that maybe he hasn't been challenged yet all year, I think that is a key, but it all revolves around Jack Kaiser. The kid's a tremendous player.
Yeah, and you take a look at Drew Schultz last week, 30 carries, 125 yards, 3 touchdowns, kind of a typical.
I think he had 36 carries the week before.
Yeah, a typical type of Drew Schultz game, but they controlled the line of scrimmage last week, and that was key. But most impressively is Southwood was a different offense than a lot of the offenses they face in 1A. Carson Blair at the quarterback position. I mean, they really threw the football quite a bit for a 1A team, and they were able to stop that offense, which really, I think, bodes well, although Pioneer does run it a ton. I think it bodes well for the future for them. And we've always talked about how there'll be some game where Adams Central has to throw the football to be effective. Last week, 0 for 2 passing. They still win.
Yeah,
I mean,
so they haven't had to have it yet.
Maybe they're just that good up front in the running game and on defense that will never be the case.
Could be, or it could be in Andrew Hammond's hands on Friday. We'll never know. So I think it's going to be a challenge for Adams Central, but we didn't expect them to be here. We expected them to lose to Woodland. We expected them to lose to Monroe Central. Here they are playing for a semi-state, so I don't think you can count them out at this point.
Well, Harold's has this as a Pioneer favorite, as a 35-21. They've got Pioneer as the predicted winner, but I don't know. I don't think going to Monroe is going to be that easy for Pioneer. I know LCC is very good, and you beat LCC, so you're the presumptive favorite, but I see it as being a much closer ball game than that.
Yeah, and it's not like Pioneer has played a gauntlet of a schedule in the regular season. They've actually played a worse schedule via Sagrin than Adams Central has. So, yes, they beat LCC, but they weren't prepared to play LCC because they played 3A and 4A all year. They were playing a lot of 1A opponents, whereas Adams Central was playing up for most of the year. So in terms of challenges, I think Adams Central has had their fair amount of challenges, whereas Pioneer really hasn't, other than last week. But that was a tremendous challenge, tremendous victory for Pioneer. They got to be riding high. So it'll be an interesting game out in Monroe on Friday.
All right, should be a very interesting week of football. We could have as many as 3 local teams heading to play for a state championship all on Saturday. We got all the evens in there, so it will be Saturday down in Indianapolis. Could be a big day for Fort Wayne following this Friday semi-state action. For Justin, I'm Glenn. We'll see you next week.